Hey guys, this is my first attempt at recording this podcast. I don't know how this is going to turn out because I've really been struggling with trying to edit and whatnot, and the reason why I haven't been able to upload videos is because I haven't even been able to make the videos themselves. So, but this is a little bit of everything by yours truly. So with this, I gotta give a brief introduction. So, I say about a year ago, I realized that I wanted to do a podcast, just to talk and get stuff off my mind. And instead of posting it on my Instagram story, which I did for majority of my thoughts, I realized like this might be the best option to do so. And it took me forever to get this microphone, the cloud lifter, the interface. I'm still learning the software, and I'm just getting my footing right now. But I'm working on where I'm gonna have these uploaded. I know I'm gonna do YouTube with video and probably some without video. Then I'm gonna upload to SoundCloud. I'm gonna try to do Spotify. Maybe Apple Podcasts, but that might be just later down the line. Definitely on Spotify, whatever that Anchor nonsense is, I would definitely do that. Some of the things I wanted to cover would be like sports. That includes like wrestling. Yes, I still watch wrestling. Music, entertainment, things of that nature. Just stuff that I see. And if this turns into more so sports than anything or entertainment than anything, I'm gonna have to do something separate for each of those. But I have no idea. But I mean, what is it? The day after the Super Bowl. So I mean, that's easy. That's an easy topic for me to talk about. Now I do have a bunch to get off my mind about that. And there's also a poll that I put up on my Instagram page on Saturday that I feel like needs to be talked about. But before we get into that, I want to give a brief introduction to myself. My name is Leviticus Cornwall. No, I'm just playing. My name is Justice Wallace, born and raised in Charlotte. I'm 21 years old, and I'm just looking to get out of here, but do something that I really love. I like talking to people. I like getting my opinions out there and engaging in conversation. So what better way than to do this? That's all. I'm not an interesting dude. I sit in the house, play video games with the squad. And they'll be on here at some point. I don't know how I'm gonna do that part, but I'm gonna work on that at some point. Yeah, that's about it as far as an introduction. The more this goes, the more information you get. It's not something I can just list out a bunch of things that I do. That's just not gonna happen. But so this is probably gonna be like a 30, 45 minute thing. Every episode, at least for this one, it's gonna be like 30 minutes because I only have two things I really want to talk about today, other than this brief introduction that I have, because there's not much of an introduction really. But before I get into the two topics that I really want to talk about, I was told I need to open this box by my girlfriend. I don't know what this is. I think this might be a Valentine's gift early, but we'll see. Aha! Ha! I had a feeling it might be this. A YouTube light. I said a YouTube light. A ring light. Oh. I'm definitely put this to use. I can't right now because I done already started this. I'll definitely implement this into the next one. Before I continue, I can't upload Final Fantasy or any games at this point because I can barely edit the videos. So I'll get into Adobe Premiere and I just can't edit the videos. The audio will be off. So I'm working on getting a new computer. Hopefully within the next 30 days I can have a new computer and banging out videos. Just flashing nonsense. Banging out videos. I said, because I recorded a video the other day, and I said in that video that I wanted to play SmackDown vs. Raw 2007. That's one of my favorite games of all time. I have to get a piece. What is it? The Soul or whatever. The HDMI splitter so I can play games on the PS3 because there's a lot of games on the PS3 that I want to play. At least off the rip. Sly Cooper, 1, 2, and 3. 2K, NCAA football. I don't have a gaming PC, so I'm not doing the whole revamp thing. I have what? I'm gonna definitely play 2K again. But yeah, there's a bunch of things that I want to get off, at least play, and I just haven't been able to. So, trust me, I'm trying my hardest. I'm working, and I just cannot get it to what I wanted to do. So, when that happens, you'll know, you'll hear from me. I'll be celebrating it and posting videos every day. At that point, probably 2, just to make up for all the lost time, because I should be finished with Final Fantasy by now, and I just haven't been able to play. So that's all, really. I might do reaction videos. I don't know how I feel about those. Because there's not much that I care about that I want to talk about. Or there's not much that I see unless there's something like somebody send me something off the wall. Or they want me to react to something. I can do that. But as far as me like going out of my way to react to Kanye West packing up and leaving his Calabasas home, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that information. I know y'all don't care about information like that. So what's the point of me relaying that or talking about it? It's stupid. So, with that being said, that's really all the channel updates. Not much of a channel, but that's my goal. That's my thought process. Is where I'm at. Give me some time. I'll be where I need to be. We can get things popping. And be better than where we are today. So, with that being said, I want to start the first episode of a little bit of everything by talking about this poll that I posted on Saturday. What was it? Saturday the 6th. So in this poll, well, let's back up. So I was scrolling on Twitter and I saw a tweet that said women are better rappers than men. Now, I don't necessarily, that didn't bother me. What bothered me was Nicki Minaj is the greatest rapper of all time. Now, I don't know what Nicki Minaj has done to give her the title of best or greatest to ever live, but no. Let's just leave it at that. And in my response to that, I said Andre 3000 would beg to differ because Andre 3000 is the greatest to ever do it. You got a problem with that? Argue with your mom. But there's plenty of better rappers than Nicki Minaj to me. So, I later posted a poll on my Instagram story saying, "Are men, who are better rappers, men or women?" And like 50 something people voted on it. I appreciate all the people that voted and everybody who skipped past it. Y'all suck. So it was 33 voted for men and 18 voted for women. And there was very little crossover from women saying men are better rappers and men are saying women are better rappers. And I just have to say that's got to stop. Because gender doesn't determine skill. to me. Um, and I think that seeing as how women haven't really started rapping until like the 90s, it's been something that people still aren't necessarily used to. Like I find that there are a bunch of women rappers that can really flow, like really get on the track and spit. Like Rico Nasty. I play Rico Nasty all the time. Rhapsody, Queen Latifah. I still play artists like that, but I think where the disconnect is the artists that really blow up, i.e., like Megan Thee Stallion, Cardi B, or Nicki Minaj, that get the most popularity. If you say anything bad about them, well, I don't understand where this hatred comes from. It's just because I don't think that they can rap. Um, and it's sad that I have to say this, but gender doesn't determine skill. If you suck, you suck. Now there are plenty of male rappers that suck. Lil Pump, Cap G, they still walk the streets and make music. Um, there's women artists who can't rap neither, but all of that is subjective. So depending on who you are and how you listen to music and how you take it in and ingest it, it's all based on you. Now, one thing we all got to agree on is Andre 3000 is the greatest of all time. I'm gonna stand by that. But again, that's subjective. So, and for me, I find it when people jump on my back or people jump on people on Instagram or Twitter for saying that, oh, you just misogynist. Not necessarily. Most men don't like the subject matter that a lot of the best, quote unquote, best women rappers have. So when a guy, especially someone like me, I don't want to hear Nicki Minaj talking about pissing on her sons. I really don't. Or Megan Thee Stallion talking about shaking her ass. That's not the music that I'm aiming for. Now, if it's funny, that's different. Cause I'll listen to somebody who's funny. Like Action Bronson is hilarious. Ugly God was hilarious. Artists like that who make me laugh, then that's different. But when I listen to music by Megan or Cardi or Nicki, I'm just like, this isn't anything good. But now, again, I have to say this again. It's all subjective. But I have to say, if your music sucks, your music sucks. And it don't matter what you got between your legs. If you garbage, you garbage. So I give an example. I said this on my story. Drake can't rap to save his life. He got so many chains. Call me Chaining Tatum. Exactly. He's got a lot of bad bars, just boring music, but he could sell water to an ocean, and I give him credit for that. Now, women rappers, Megan Thee Stallion. I think Megan Thee Stallion is one of the just most bare bones artists that you can have, but her audience accepts that. Like that's what they go into it for. I'm not going into Megan's music listening for Kendrick Lamar quotables, but that's just her audience. I think her lyrics are just bare bones. Her flows suck for a good portion of the time, but I can't. That's my opinion, and other people's opinions gonna be different than mine. And then another thing, this goes for everybody. If you rap fast, that don't mean you rap good. I don't know who thought this idea of rapping fast was like a constant that you need to do. But just because you rap fast do not mean you rap good. I'm sorry. We're going to talk about that at a later date. But I'm sick of people or listening to music or like somebody or rap a freestyle, say it quick, but won't say nothing. Like Logic is an example. Eminem is a perfect example. Megan's Double XL freestyle is an example. She was rapping, but I was like, "You not saying nothing I ain't already heard." It goes for everybody. So stop rapping fast if you're not saying nothing. Now, I have to say two things before I change the subject. Gender does not determine skill. That's number one. Number two, Andre 3000 is still the greatest rapper of all time. All right. So now that's out of the way, I'm moving on to the next point or the next topic. We're done with music for the day. We'll come back. I don't know. We'll come back to music, but now it is February 8th, the day after the Super Bowl, and boy, I have a lot to get off my chest. Congratulations to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I will give credit for that. But we're not gonna start with them. We're gonna do them last. I want to talk about the Kansas City Chiefs first. So, Mahomes, you got that Carson Wentz treatment. Yeah, everybody was talking bad about Carson Wentz, but if you watched that Super Bowl yesterday, you saw what Carson Wentz went through. Carson Wentz and Jalen Hurts, what they went through for all 16 games. That is the norm for Eagles fans. That's not new, at least for me. I was like, yeah, he running for his life. Maybe if he had offensive line help, he's missing the two best offensive linemen, Mitchell Schwartz, and who was the other guy? I think it's Eric Fisher. Eric Fisher wasn't there. So you missing your best O lineman in Mitchell Schwartz, and JPP and Shaq Barrett was just living in the backfield. He was out there. He threw a pass, and I correlated it to when Kawhi shot that fadeaway. Y'all seen the meme when Kawhi shot the fadeaway. You know what I'm talking about. But yeah, Mahomes just came back down to earth. I can't. It's hard to have to make plays if you're running for your life. I thought that's common sense. That game isn't necessarily on Mahomes. Like he did. I don't think he really had a bad throw. He probably had like one bad throw. I can't even think of a throw that was bad. So he didn't really play. He didn't play bad, but he didn't. I can't say he didn't help his team because he was running for his life. So it ain't on Mahomes. Kelsey played great. Tyreek did what he could. He should have had a touchdown, but he dropped it. Actually, no. I think he should have had two. He dropped one. There was a lot of drops. The wide receivers definitely didn't help Mahomes. But what are you going to do? If you're an Eagles fan, you've seen this all the time. If you're a Dallas fan, you've seen this all the time. Just drops is just a consistent thing. My one gripe, though, this is what Andy Reid. Why was Clyde Edwards-Helaire not a part of the game plan? I don't get. What was the point of drafting him in the first round? He played great versus Houston. He came out swinging for the first two games, and then he didn't touch the ball until the second half started. And you down 15 points. Like, you have to figure out a way to get him into the offense way earlier than that, and that's bad coaching. That's bad game planning. I don't like that Edwards-Helaire was not involved in the offense until the second half. And then every time he touched the ball, he made a play. And Andy Reid not using his best running back is just beyond me because he did it with Brian Westbrook. He ran that dude to he couldn't run no more. So I mean, Roger, you got to stick. I mean, I get you got to stick with what you got and what's been working, but if it ain't working in the first half, you only had like 40-something yards. It's time to switch it up. But other than that, I mean, they just needed their offensive line. That defense is horrible. But I never thought that defense was good anyway. If you thought that Kansas City defense was good, then you ain't been watching Kansas City all the way. But yeah, that's pretty much it. If you bet on the Chiefs, I'm sorry. I ain't bet, but you know what I'm saying. If you bet on the Chiefs, stuff. Now on to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tom Brady was once again saved by his defense. All right, so I'm gonna read this stat. And this is common sense. So the last two offenses that went up against a Tom Brady defense, so it would be the Buccaneers that played yesterday and the Patriots that played in 2018, 2019 with Jared Goff and all of them boys. So the 2018 Rams averaged 32.9 points per game. Yeah. The Chiefs averaged 29.7 points per game. this past season. In those two games, those two offenses have mustered up 12 points. Like 12. That's 4 field goals. They've literally only been 4 field goals. So 6 points, a 6-point average in 2 games. That ain't cutting it. Oh my God, that's really gonna bother me. 6 point average, like 12 points doesn't win you a game in the NFL like during the regular season. So 12 points mustered up in 2 games in a Super Bowl definitely isn't gonna work. And when you only have to score a touchdown and a field goal, like that's so much for offense. Like you didn't need the offense. So once again, this is Tom Brady, the Tom Brady defense leading the way, and him just hanging out on the field. He's this is a stat that I don't know if people relate this or not, but in 8 of Tom Brady's 10 Super Bowl games, excuse me, in 8 of his 10 Super Bowl games, his defense has only given up 21 points or more twice. You can look that up. It's on the internet. The 2 games was versus my Eagles, my Philadelphia Eagles. Y'all still suck, my Philadelphia Eagles. And then the other one was versus the Carolina Panthers, where John Casey doesn't kick the ball out of bounds. Then it's another conversation, but it's in the past. But every other game, a Tom Brady defense has not given up 21 points. So when you only got to score 3 times, you pretty much won. Like they gave up 13 versus the Rams at one point. Was it the Rams? I don't care who it was. They don't like this games. They only giving up 13, 3 the other night. Not the other night. 3 in this other Super Bowl. You gave up 9 last night. So I mean, you're not forced to do anything difficult, and you playing decent defenses. Like when the Rams defense was better than the Chiefs defense last night, and he only put up 13 points. When you play bad defenses, and there was a lot of bad calls. You're not required to do much like on the field anyway. So yeah, those are the 2 stats that really stick out to me. I mean, Leonard Fournette, if you got a ball head and you playing running back, you better do your thing, cause Ronald Jones played great. Mike Evans, he looking real soft. He got a lot of leeway the other night. He had like 1 wide open pass, and then he had like 2 pass interferences. I'm just like, I don't know. If Mike Evans wasn't 6'5", then I could understand where they was coming from, because he should be running through like cornerbacks anyway. But one of them, he tripped over his own foot. The other one, they called a hold, and that was the same hold call that got away versus the Green Bay Packers when Aaron Rodgers threw an interception at the end of the first half. I rest my case. There's a lot of bad calls. I mean, it's in the past. I didn't care, but I just had to observe like what I saw. But that leads me to the next point, and I saw this. I don't know who posted it on Twitter. A lot of my news sources are gonna come from Twitter anyway. I'm probably gonna put my Twitter in the description of this video on YouTube at least. And I'll definitely create a Twitter. Oh, I have a Twitter. I gotta plug my Twitter for the podcast itself. I'll put that in the description. It'll be on all my other pages. My link tree, that's on Instagram. I gotta add that on there. But Tom Brady is not the GOAT at football. He's not. And it's crazy I have to say that. You are the most accomplished player in a team sport. It took football. Let's do this. Football requires 33 people to be in sync to win a football game for 60 minutes. How I'm gonna give Tom Brady credit for his defense playing great? Like you, Tom Brady. At what point has Tom Brady played a season or a game where you sit back and realize I see why people call him the best in the league? No one calls him the best in the league. Tom Brady has not been called the best quarterback in the league. I don't know, since I can't even say the suspension year because he only played 12 games, so he was just sitting there resting at the house. Uh, the undefeated season, I guess. Yeah, I give him that. He played great there. Um, but yeah, he's not the GOAT. He's not even the best at his position. Is he the most accomplished? Yes, I will give you that. I find it odd that when all the Super Bowl appearances you've been in, you have been the common denominator. I find it weird that Tom Brady is the common denominator in team success. I, I, I don't get it. It might be that vegan diet, but when you have guys like Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, and Grob Ronstanowski. Hey guys, you have a great team set up. Anyway, you walked into a great situation. You didn't need much help. Uh, you got a coach. Bruce Arians. Bruce Arians is one of the best coaches ever. I don't care what nobody got to say. He is a great offensive mind. If Jameis Winston wasn't blind to be, they would have won more than 7 games last year. He threw 30 touchdowns with 30 picks. So if you take away 30 picks, you cut that in half. That's a potential for 45 touchdowns that's missing. You could have had 45 touchdowns and 15 interceptions in one season and made the playoffs. They would have been in the playoffs. They would have went like 11-5. Because I know they lost their last game of the season off of Jameis Winston pick 6. It's a good thing he got his LASIK eye surgery. But if you cut half of those interceptions, you are in the playoffs. But yeah, I can't give Tom Brady credit for being the GOAT. I don't think that. Well, let's do this. If we was to start NFL draft of every football player to ever live, from Bart Starr to Dan Marino to Deion Sanders to Lawrence Taylor, still doing bumps. Who are you picking first? It's not Tom Brady. It's not. And I don't think there can be a GOAT in football. At least not one overarching GOAT. I think that it's more based off position than anything. Because Tom Brady doesn't play defense. So how he the best player on defense if he don't play defense? Make it make sense. Like Deion Sanders or Lawrence Taylor. Hell, and Aaron Donald can make that argument. But just not Tom. He's still not the most talented. He's not the most skilled. He's had great situations. He's walked into a great situation with the best coach, the best football coach of all time. Like Bill Belichick is the best, whether it's modern day or not. He is the best football coach of all time. And you walked into that situation. You were blessed with a tragedy that took place in New York in 2001. Not talking about 9/11. You were blessed with Drew Bledsoe getting destroyed and you stepping on the field. You were blessed at that moment. And ever since then, you've just been blessed to just keep getting by. You showed up in one Super Bowl your first couple years. Out of the first 5? He played 3 straight. And then he played the Giants. And then he played the Giants again. He showed up once. In 5 games. 4 of those games, you looked garbage. The first time he played the Giants, he looked horrible. The second time he played the Giants, he looked horrible. When you played the Rams, you looked horrible. He only scored 13 points. One of them was a pick 6. We got to give Tom Brady credit for his team winning, right? I think that I just don't get it. There's no GOAT in football. There's just no GOAT. It's based off position. And even then, you still not the best quarterback at your you still not the best at your position. That goes to like Aaron Rodgers, Dan Marino, Peyton Manning, those guys. Because those guys didn't have good teams around them necessarily. Aaron Rodgers has just got his best running back 2 years ago in Aaron Jones. He was it last. I don't remember when Aaron Jones got there. He just got Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones is the best running back that he's had. He's better than Ryan Grant. I don't care what you got to say. He is better than him. And Peyton Manning never had a running game. Never had a running game. Never in his life. Now, and he's had a lot of bad defenses. He had to overcome a lot of bad defenses. And he still won 2 Super Bowls. That last defense that he had was incredible. He made Cam Newton look sorry. We're going to talk about Cam Newton at some point. But, these guys didn't have great situations. Dan Marino lost like 40-7 his last game with the Dolphins. Got punched in the mouth. Like, that's enough for Tom Brady. I think swimming is the hardest sport. And like Michael Phelps and Katie Ledecky, Serena Williams, Kobe, Mike, LeBron, those guys are better athletes and better like professionals than Tom Brady. Tom Brady got caught cheating. I'm sorry. He got caught cheating, deflating footballs. How you the best athlete of all time? You are the most accomplished football player. I will give you that. But you're still not the best of all time. Oh, I left my man out. Bo Jackson and Deion Sanders. These dudes was out here playing football and basketball at the same time. That was basketball, football, and baseball. I'm sorry. Y'all did y'all thing. Y'all deserve the credit where credit is due. Should Bo Jackson be in the Football Hall of Fame? Oh yes, and it's not even close. But that's my thoughts. I need to figure out a schedule to get the constant upload. I'm sorry if y'all can hear my phone. I have to leave my notes open, so I keep getting notifications. Yeah, that's it for my thoughts, at least today. Because don't nothing else happen. Oh, the weekend, he did look good. I ain't gonna lie, he did look good. So some of those songs I ain't heard in a minute. Not only did he, I take that back. I still think that Prince had the best halftime show of all time. It rained, and him and his 2 dancers that were standing next to him had on high heels when it rained, and nobody slipped and fell. So if you want to watch that. It's on YouTube. I don't know where it is on YouTube. It's probably on the NFL page. You gotta watch that. That is the best Super Bowl performance of all time. Michael Jackson is definitely up there because he took up too much time at the beginning that they was talking about. He stood there. He everybody was just screaming and shouting. You know how Mike gathered the audience. But Prince's performance, if it didn't rain for Prince, I think it would be different. But it rained for Prince, and it's almost like he knew it was gonna rain, and he was like, "I need more." So, Prince is top tier. But that halftime performance, I enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Even though I couldn't hear his vocals a couple times, it just sounded like the mic wasn't where it needed to be. It was still good. So yeah, those are my thoughts. It's February 8th, 2021. I'm working on a schedule. Hell, I might do this on Mondays. Mondays might be the move. I really appreciate if you watch this. If you would like, comment, share, favorite, do whatever you got to do. And leave suggestions. If there's certain topics that you want to hear from me, you want to hear me talk about or give my opinion on. Hell, if you want to give advice, you want me to give you advice, I will do that. I'm open and honest. I've got a lot of skeletons in my closet. And I've learned that it's better just to be open about it. And I'll admit I wasn't perfect, but nets and dust. But anyway, it's I wasn't perfect, so and I'm learning, but I've always been one to listen and tell people how I feel and how people should go about things. So if you have any questions, topics, things you want me to talk about, send them to me on Instagram, Twitter. I'm probably gonna have that. At a later date, I have it set up to where those things go to my other Twitter page. But yeah, this was fun. Uh, there's nothing else. Nothing else to do. But this was a good first one. I think there's always room for improvement. I really wish I could do these longer, but I just can't because of this computer. So when I get a new computer, these will be longer. Cause like right now I'm at 35, pushing 36 minutes. Um, but yeah, I'm working. Walk with me. Everything be all right. So, like I said, I want to say thank you. I love you. Please have a good rest of your day. Whenever you listen to this, smile and live by this quote that I live by. You ain't got to live by it, but just keep it in mind. And Biggie said it best. Stay far from timid. Only make moves when your heart's in it. I live the phrase, sky's the limit.
Do you know who the best player in the game is? Me, Mars Blackman. And I'm way above the rim, demonstrating some serious hang time. Very serious. Do you know how I get up for my game? Do you know? Do you know? Do you know? That's right. Air Jordan, Air Jordan, Air Jordan. Mike, what's up? Oh, money. Why you want to do that to me? Why you leave me hanging? Come on. I got it. Oh, Mike, man. That's so bad.